What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel here for Friday night's 5-game WNBA main slate. $20,000 to first. Did bump the entry fee up to $25, which is kind of steep, but no NBA, so should I feel this no problem. Let's look back at my lineup from tonight. I did secure my second Queen of the Court seat. Was the $287 8 entry contest. I held off multiple Discord members in second and third, but lineup was solid. I did play this lineup on the main slate, and after I saw how chalky Sabrina, Burke, Stewie, and Salon was, I pivoted off Reese and Atkins to Paige Beckers and Camila Cardosa. And I really didn't think too much about it, but in the Discord this morning, I mentioned to everyone that I had a tingle about Arike, and I just didn't even think about just dropping down even further from Paige to Arike, but that's the lineup that shipped first place in the big contest. I'm almost certain. So it is what it is. I'll take my Queen of the Court seat and be happy about it. So I got 2 out of 10, had a couple sweats and a couple seconds as well. So really fun. First 20% of these qualifiers. We'll see if we can't get a couple more before the 50's out. Obviously, on the spreads, we never get the Sun on here because of Mohegan Sun. So Sun at Fever, 12.5 point spread. Fever are favorites at home. Over under 162.5. New York at Washington. New York on a back-to-back. New York 9-point favorites. Over under 168.5. I kind of like Washington plus 9 at home. New York on very, very little rest. I mean, they played at home tonight and had to immediately get on a plane and head to Washington. That's not a fun trip. And the starters had to play big minutes. Minnesota at Phoenix. Minnesota's 4-point favorites. Over under 158. Atlanta at Seattle. Seattle's 3.5 point favorites. Over under 158.5. LA at Las Vegas. Las Vegas 9-point favorites. Over under 165.5. A lot to talk about here. Going to have to try and go through this pretty quickly just because there's so many games. Don't want to have a 25-minute video. On the Connecticut side, news coming out. Marina Mabry questionable. Olivia Nelson-Ododa questionable. They're just bringing in the tanks. We're going to see this pretty much the rest of the year, I would imagine. They're just going to be resting people randomly. The next game probably be Tina Charles. But if Mabry and Ono sit like I'm expecting them to, would expect starters to be Tina Charles, possibly Anissa Morrow, Sanaya Rivers, JC Sheldon, and then maybe maybe Peters or Bree Hartley. Like if they go Hartley, Sheldon, Rivers, Morrow, Charles, I guess they could do that. Rivers at the 3, that wouldn't be too bad. Would really need to see the starting lineup to really have a lot of interest in really anyone on this team. Obviously, they can keep this game somewhat competitive because there's no Caitlin Clark for the Fever right now. Tina Charles, obviously the clear spend up here on this team, especially if Mabry and Ono are out, should dominate usage. I think if Morrow starts, she would be fine, but I mean, only 8 minutes this last game, really hard to trust. I think Sanaya Rivers and Bree Hartley are my next favorite plays on this team. Then on the Indiana side, obviously no Caitlin Clark. Boston played big minutes, played pretty well against Washington. Only took 5 shots, though, which is just asinine. Only saw 29 minutes as well. Nat Howard played 17 minutes. She did not play one single second in the fourth quarter. Actually played pretty well, almost a fantasy point per minute in her 17 minutes. So that's really concerning. And at over 9K, really hard to prioritize. Kelsey Mitchell, 7,800. You know what you're getting out of her. She's going to take a ton of shots. Obviously, she shot very poorly. Not going to get you very many peripheral stats, but if she shoots the ball well, she can easily have a good game anytime she's under 8K. If you want to take shots on her, you can. I just don't ever really want to, especially on big slates. DeWanna Bonner all the way up to 7,400. Had 21 real-life points, nuked off this last game in 25 minutes. I really don't want to pay 7,400 for someone coming off the bench, but Whatever. Sophie Cunningham, 7,200. Same with Bonner. Don't really want to pay that for someone coming off the bench. Lexi Hull, 5,300. Been super consistent. Last 3 games, started the last 2. I definitely think she's a fine play for value. Sydney Colson, 3,500. Lock and load. I mean, at 3,500, if she scores you 12 fantasy points, that's all you need for her. And she opens up everything value wise. I mean, 31 minutes, that's all you really need to see. New York, Washington on the New York side. Jonquel Jones missed tonight. Would expect her back tomorrow unless it's a little bit more serious than we think. If she is still out and maybe Sabali is still out, they did start Burke. Izzy Harrison only got a little mini rotation in the first half, picked up 2 quick fouls immediately, did not play well, and then did not play in the second half. So they ran the starters into the ground. Stewie played a ton. Sabrina played a ton. Cloud played a ton. Thevich played a ton. They played Johannes and Gardner quite a bit, even dusted off Marquisha Davis when Harrison really struggled. So need to see the injury report here and who's in and who's out. I would expect John Quill to be back here. I think it was more of just a precaution tonight, especially with it being a back-to-back. But a lot to like there on New York. I mean, if John Quill is out again, I mean, you can go right back to the studs. On the Washington side, team is finally fully healthy. Obviously, Sikakone was out of the rotation last game, so not anyone to really worry about. But Austin played really well, 15 minutes, 22 fantasy points. She's well north of a fantasy point per minute player. Just worried about like how the minutes are going to be distributed here. Kiki Iriafen picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter, only saw 23 minutes, but I think on a normal night, she's going to play like 28 to 30. And then they're just going to, like, Dolson's minutes absolutely cratered. She played to a fantasy point per minute and still only played 10 minutes. So that just tells you, like, her minutes are not secure anymore. Aaliyah Edwards saw an uptick in minutes up to 20. Did not have that great of a game, but she can get there in a multitude of ways. Kiki Iriafen mentioned her, just going to stuff the stat sheet. She's a great rebounder. Sonia Citron, just super safe. Haven't seen the real ceiling game yet from her. 8,500 is a bit steep on a 5-game slate. And then Brittany Sykes, 10.1K. Usage is just insane for her. The peripheral stats are just money. One of the better plays on this slate as a spend up or just in general. And then Jade Melbourne, 6,400. Price continues to go up, probably not getting there on a 5-gamer. Las Vegas and Los Angeles on the Spark side. Kelsey Plum and Dearica Hamby returning to Las Vegas. Plum, 10.9K, playing just huge minutes, taking a ton of shots. And if you don't think her petty ass is going to be out there trying to bust up the aces, I don't know what to tell you. She's going to be out for blood. And then Hamby, they're going to be feeding off each other's energy. I love this game stack here. Azura Stevens, 9,100, solid play. Odyssey Sims, I can't go there. Minutes are trending in the wrong direction. She's not playing well, and they are playing Julie Almond more and more. Right at 17, 16, 17, 18 minutes. Obviously, she didn't have a great game, but she still played a ton down the stretch in that game against Atlanta that was super close. They did play Emma Cannon a little bit last game, same with King. Russell's minutes have all but evaporated. I mean, she's just not a good fantasy point per minute player. Barker's minutes were okay. Like, she did dip a little, but Rakia Jackson has already been rolled out, so would expect Barker back in the starting rotation, which makes her a valuable value play. Then on the Aces side, we need to see starting lineups because it's about time for Elizabeth Kitley to take the center spot away from Kia Stokes. Yes, she played in the blowout, but her first 5 minutes, she had 8 points and 5 rebounds. The first 5 minutes of the game, when the game was competitive and she was out there with Asia Wilson and the starters, and they benched Kia Stokes, Liz Kitley can ball, guys. And if she ever gets the opportunity to start on this team, yes, she does have foul concerns. Yes, she is very foul happy, but she would thrive playing next to Asia Wilson. I'm hoping they finally give her a shot. I don't know if it'll be right now, but later on in the season, I fully expect her to take the starting job away from Kia Stokes. Then up top, Asia Wilson, 12.2K. Love the price tag for her here. Fresh off like a rough game, a game in which they got embarrassed. I expect Asia Wilson to come out for blood here. Jackie Young, sub 9K, always in play when she's down this cheap. Chelsea Gray as well looks really good. And then Joel Lloyd, 8,100. I think she's fine for tournaments. Really scoring dependent, though. Then Minnesota and Phoenix. Big news here for Minnesota. Nafisa Collier added to the injury report. Questionable for Friday's game due to a knee injury. If she were to miss, oh my God. This Minnesota team, that's 30% plus in usage that opens up. Courtney Williams would look really good. I can't pay $9K for Kayla McBride. Played 31 minutes in her first game, 24 fantasy points. Obviously, shot 4 of 8. They were saying she's on a minutes limit and she plays 31 minutes. Alana Smith, 7,900, played 28 minutes, well over a fantasy point per minute. If Fia is out, I love Alana Smith. They probably would start Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, Alana Smith, Jessica Shepard, and Bridget Carrollton, which would be a fun lineup. And it'd be interesting to see how the usage breaks down if Fee is out. Would have interest in all 5 if Fee was out. Shepard, we know, can play to a fantasy point per minute. Minutes haven't been great as Alana Smith continues to get healthier and healthier. Everyone else on the bench really don't have a lot of interest in, even if Fee is out. On a 5-game slate, I don't think any of them are really must plays. Then on the Phoenix side, Alyssa Thomas, Satu Sabali, both look really good at the top. Both just going to stuff the stat sheet. Alyssa Thomas, fresh off 15 assist game and a 50 burger. We know the upside that she has. She scored 52 fantasy points and she shot 7 times. It's just the Alyssa Thomas effect. It's crazy what she can do and how many fantasy points she can accumulate without having to score the ball. It's honestly very, very respectful. It's very respectable. Satu Sabali, a lot more scoring dependent, but she's going to take a ton of shots. 7 of 21 last game against Chicago, 28-3. She's going to get you some boards and she'll get you a couple assists, but where she's going to score most of her fantasy points is from actual scoring. West Bell, 5,400. Fine play. Minutes haven't been great, but are consistent of the past 3 games, 27 minutes. She can get there in a multitude of ways. Whitcomb, 4,900 is fine. McConney, 4,300 is fine. She's just super consistent. You should know what you're going to get out of McConney. 19, 22, 24, 24 in the last 4. Laxa and Held are the 2 guards off the bench if you want to go there, but with Colson, it's really hard to prioritize either of them. Atlanta at Seattle for the late night hammer. On the Atlanta side, prices are starting to go up here. BG is probable, so fully expect her to play. Bree Jones, 9,700, has had 2 rough games. Who knew that she needs BG out there to really reach her full potential? Everyone thought with BG out, Bree Jones would nuke off, and that we have never been more wrong. Alicia Gray and Ron Howard continue to play just massive minutes, taking a ton of shots. Then Nia Coffey done really well with BG out. Naz Hillman nuked off this last game, won people the late slate. Pow moved to the bench for Maya Caldwell, so that's something we need to keep an eye on. A lot to like there on Atlanta, especially the high-priced guards. On the Seattle side, NECA looks great. Diggins looks great. Gabby Williams, price keeps going up, but she looks great. Minutes are just incredible for Gabby. She's just super active when she's on the floor. Ezzy, sub 8K. One of these slates, guys. One of these slates, she's going to get there. And then not a lot of interest in really anyone else. Alicia Clark is questionable. I will say if she's out and Wheeler starts 5,900, she's fine. She's been really good of late, especially like she nuked off against the Aces in that blowout. But 17 minutes over a fantasy point per minute there. 23 minutes, 14 fantasy points at 5,900. If Alicia Clark is out, I would expect high 20s minutes for her there. But that's going to do it for me, guys. If you enjoy the content, leave a like on the channel. Really helps out the channel grow. If you want more of my content, link is in the description below for my premium content. Offer a ton of different things. FanDuel roster construction, Draftkings roster construction, Showdown roster construction video, player pool and core plays, just a bunch of stuff, underdog draft rankings, a little bit of everything. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Good luck to you all, and we will see you in the next one.